Trend lines are a vitally important way of determining areas of support and resistance on a chart. In this chart of the Dow Jones Composite, we can see several different trend lines drawn, illustrating those areas over the very long term of support and resistance. Here's a closer view of about 5 years, and you can see how the red is illustrating support. Now, it's when crossover takes place that is one valuable way to use trend lines. Here's general cable, and there's a trend line showing touch point after touch point where, upon approaching the support line, the price bounced higher. However, a break occurred here in late 2008, and importantly, the break was met with attempts to get onto the other side of the trend line, but the line had changed its role from support to resistance, and that would have been an ideal place to short the stock or buy puts on the stock and profit from it. Here's a zoomed in portion. You can see where the break took place and how the price bounced back up toward the line, but then ultimately fell away. Another example, DST. Here we have a trend line, once again showing great respect for the line as support until here, when it broke. Now, it doesn't always retrace back up to the underside of the trend line, and in this instance it fell about 75% after that break. Kilroy Realty, similar example, an ascending trend line providing support, a break occurred, a retrace did not take place. Once the break was in, the damage was done, and the stock went from about $65 down to about $12.50. Here is Kilroy showing a recent break, and what happens after that transpires will be more clear when you watch this video. Here is also an example of something that hasn't fallen too hard yet, but we have had a break on this, ACAT. It clung like iron filings to a magnet after the break, and then a hard descent, losing about 1/3 of its value. Here's ACGL. This is another example where not much of a fall has taken place yet. There's been a fall, a retrace back to the underside of the trend line, and what happens in the long term, only you will know. Here's one other example showing a couple of trend lines in place, showing support and resistance. And here again, a break has happened quite recently as of this recording. And there's also a rather clean topping pattern, which is a greater component of that break. Finally, symbol N. Here we have another break of a line, a push back to the underside, and we will see after 2014 if this preceded a big fall.